Today's spotlight is on upcoming presidential debate. Today we have with us Ms. Lucille Panos, Republican Party Chair, Middlesex County, Mr. Prakash Nakka, and Vishal Madan. Welcome all of you. Vishal, can you introduce yourself a little bit more?
So myself, Vishal Madan. I live in East Brunswick with my family. I'm a member of East Brunswick Republican Club, and I'm also auxiliary police officer in town of Sheffield.
Okay, very good. Your party affiliation, sir?
I'm a Republican. I'm a member of, as I said, Republican Committee.
Ma'am, I know about you. I have introduced you as a chair of Middlesex County Republican Committee. Maybe if you want to tell more to our audience.
My name is Lucille Panos. I was a councilwoman in Oldbridge for 16 years, and I recently moved to Monroe, to an adult community. So I get involved in all the towns in Middlesex County, who's running and how they need support and such. I am curious, Vishal, you said you have something to do with Sayreville.
Okay, sorry guys. Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Prakash.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
This is Prakash Nakka from New Jersey. I'm an entrepreneur and a political analyst. Thank you, Krishnaji and TV5 Management for inviting for the session.
So in another 2 hours from now, 2.5 hours from now, there will be final showdown face-off between President Trump and then Vice President Biden. What are you expecting from President Trump, or what are you expecting from Mr. Biden? Let's go with Vishal.
Let's start with it. So first of all, there's a big difference between how we went into first debate and now how we are going here. When we went into first debate, all the major media, although I don't believe the media, but all the media channels, the polls, they were showing very huge lead for Biden, maybe 10, 12 points. But here now, in a couple of weeks, the lead has actually come down to maybe 3 to 5%, which is within the error margin. So that's the huge difference. Let's keep that in mind. When we go for this debate, we are looking at a lead difference of 3 to 5% for Biden as per media. I don't believe that's the huge difference. Now, what I'm expecting President Trump today to focus a lot on economy. He has to share how our economy has done a V-shaped recovery. It's a historical moment, how the economy has bounced back from where we were. Market was about to crash, and now here we are. It's like 35 to 40% growth of S&P index. That's what President Trump has to focus on. And the second biggest thing I think President Trump will focus on is the law and order and national security. That is going to be the key. So my view, President Trump will focus on these two things. As far as Biden is concerned, he's going to again go back to Corona and COVID and how it was mishandled. And I think President Trump will be better prepared today to answer that thing.
To be a little bit more civil than last week, I don't know. I don't trust the moderator. That might be the next question, to be impartial. There's too many connections there. I think from President Trump, for sure, I agree with Vishal, the economy, that's his strong point. And plus his position with other nations, the progress he has made in peace. I think he should have won the Nobel Peace Prize this year in peace. And then how he stands up to them with sanctions and China. I'm very concerned about China, and I think he is the one who can control that or have a better grip on it. That would be what I expect from President Trump. From former Vice President Biden, I expect the same old. 47 years, and what has he done? President Trump has done more in 47 months than Biden is just, they say, part of the swamp. It's time. It's not his time.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Om.
Yeah, from the today's, this is the high time for Trump to deliver the knockout punch to his opponent Biden. From the president point of view, he has to highlight what is his track record for last 5 years. As one is economy is soaring so good. S&P is up 5%, And next one is national security. National security, where we have the Middle East peace deal, and China tariffs. I think the national security, and these are the two things president can talk about. And also, president should highlight what he is going to do for the next 4 years. That is very critical for him, because all the Americans, they know that what he delivered in terms of economy, in terms of national security, and what he is going to do. This is the time he has to give his vision and explain how he is going to achieve it. In terms of Biden, I think he has to. I think he has done a good job last time. Whether we agree or not, he has to deliver the steady performance. I think he's going to talk about more on handling of COVID. He's going to highlight almost 2020 people lost their life, American lives are lost because of COVID. And also he's going to focus on the race in the America, racism, on the Black Lives Matter. So these are two topics I think Biden is going to talk about. These are the two strengths, and the Biden, President Trump should focus on economy and the peace, and I think law and order also. Thank you.
On September 29th, that means just before the first debate, Biden was heading Trump by 7.9 points. And after that, the difference, the average the polls difference rose from 7.9 to 10 in the next 2 weeks. And then, of course, it came back again to 7.9 or 7.8 as on today. Elections are hardly 2 weeks away. Do you think that Biden is going to again increase his lead over Trump? And what are all these polls? What is the logic behind the polls, Miss Panos?
I guess it's who's doing the polls. President Trump was pretty much in the same position when he ran against Hillary. And it depends who does the polls, actually. Here in Middlesex County, I believe over 500,000 ballots went out, and only 118,000 have been returned thus far that we know of. So these polls are jumping the gun. They like people to think that Biden's ahead, but I don't have too much credence in the polls that are going out. I mean, you give it some consideration, but look at last election. He was in the same position.
Around this time, Mrs. Clinton was the lead of Mrs. Clinton was little less than what Biden has now. So Biden has almost 3-4 points more than what Clinton had exactly around the same time. So that is the problem.
Which poll are you listening to?
Average polls. It's not. They're ranging from about 5 points to 10 points. So I'm talking about RCP average for the last 15 days.
I think the tides will turn. Biden will drop, just as Hillary.
Okay. Any views, Om?
Yeah, coming back to, I think, as you said, last year, the Clinton was up by almost 7 to 8% in the national poll average, even in the battleground states. But, there are undecided voters, almost 8 to 11%. As per the 2016 post-analysis of the results, the analysts concluded that all the neutral voters or undecided voters, they jumped to the Trump bucket. As a result, I think in all the battleground states, Trump won the electoral college. Coming back to now, I think latest poll, today's the latest poll, real quick politics. Biden is in a battleground state 4.1. I don't know who is conducting the polling, but so far, at least as per the stock market prediction, Trump is going to win. 90% of the result, 80% of the people, they're saying that Trump is going to win. I don't know what is the logic behind it, but as you know, a lot of Democratic voters, blue collar voters, are switching to Trump, and I think overall economy is doing good today. If you look at the unemployment benefits, unemployment claims really dropped to historic pre-March level, pre-COVID levels. That indicates that people are happy with the economy. Economy is back to normalcy. I think the Trump has both are right now. We don't know yet. Let's see. This debate may change the little bit 2 or 3%, that may create advantage for Trump.
Yeah, what you're telling is Gallup polls, I think, which is the only one poll during 2016 which predicted correctly that Trump is going to win, while all other polls said Trump is not going to win. Gallup says that Trump is trailing only by 4 points, which is almost within the margin of error of the polls. Okay, that's what I'm trying to give you. You said that there is a poll which is 4 points.
Yeah, I think
Trump.
it is. Yeah,
Gallup. Yeah.
Krishna, it's not. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. Ms. Vishal, your idea of is
Yeah.
Trump going to reduce the gap
Yeah.
between them or increase?
Right. First of all, about the polls, I kind of agree with Ms. Panos that it depends on what poll you're looking at. It's in your mind. If you want Trump to win, you will look at a certain poll. If you want Biden to win, it's a media world we live in. It's a totally biased media. You decide where you want to look at. Now, if we talk about the polls, we have to look only in the swing state. Don't look at the polls everywhere. What matters is swing states. So if you look in the swing state, every poll is within the error margin. You can't tell me a single poll which is giving like 10-point lead to Biden in a swing state. I'm talking only about swing state. So within swing state, the margin is 3 to 5% for Biden as per the polls. My view is, if you look at Biden, what he has done for last 5 days, he was planning the strategy for the debate for last 4 days out of 5, and President Trump was actually connecting to people. He was doing the events. He was within the people. So I think that is going to make a big difference. In coming 2 weeks, we'll see this margin will, even if your poll says something else, but I think on the ground, the margin will narrow down. And President Trump is going to come ahead with the silent vote or whatever you want to call it. But President Trump is going to come ahead with the way he's connecting to people, not just sitting in the room, going to rallies, and with obviously properly following the social distance and all. He's connecting to people, and there's a big plan for the next 2 weeks how he will be doing the rallies. I think that is going to be the deal maker for next 2 weeks.
Okay. See, there is a pattern that I have observed, and then Trump is ranting about. When Chris Wallace, who is a Republican, when he is conducting the debate, he wants to have tough questions to Trump, whereas he wants to go softballs on Biden, because he doesn't want people to think, okay, I'm partial. So that is what Chris Wallace is. And in coming to the other debate with Vice President and then the town hall, whatever that was conducted, the Democratic moderators, they were throwing softballs on Biden and curveballs to Trump. So today, Kristen Welker is conducting the moderation, and then she is and her family is known to be hardcore Democrats, and then their family contributed a lot of money to Democratic Party from Obama era to now. Do you think that this debate and the questions will be impartial, Ms. Panos?
That she is on the hot spot because everybody knows her relationship with Obama. That they go to every Christmas party. Her family gave so much money to I have $20,000 to Obama, and they support Biden. Also, I didn't get those numbers, but so she might be a little less favorable, less impartial. I'm hoping that anyway, because the media has been terrible against President Trump. So I hope that she knows that she's going to be scrutinized tonight and that she is less impartial. I think in her mind and body, she'll have to resist. But anyway.
Anybody, any opinions?
Yeah, so same thing. I will say that looking at the history for Kristen Welker, there is some association from the Obama era to the Democrats. But again, I hope she will be impartial and conduct in a nice way. But I can tell you it cannot be 100% impartial. There will be some tilt definitely. But I hope, I will put in that words, I hope she is fair to President Trump.
It looks that emails and the Democratic Party, they are inseparables, especially 2 weeks or 3 weeks before elections. Last time in 2016, we saw there's a bombshell about Clinton's emails. And now we have seen Hunter Biden's emails. Is it a good omen for Republican Party? And then Is Christian Walker going to rise about the emails, which Biden family is actually escaping to answer that question for a while? Anybody want to go? Om?
So Krishna, coming back to previous question, I think American institutions are superior than individuals. I think this debate is conducted by non-partisan election commission. I think we should not question the integrity of the Chris Wallace or Christine today. Hope they are impartial and they will do the right thing for the country. That is very important. And coming back to your question on sorry, forgot.
Hunter Biden's emails and then
Until by that,
emails,
I think
Democratic Party, Republican Party, and so on.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Today's topics are more on handling of the COVID, national security, American family values, and racism in country. But as I said, I think this is the right thing. Last time it was not about taxes, but Chris Wallace raised the Trump taxes. I think this is very important for American people to know. 2 weeks away, 40 million people already voted. It is American. The Christians should ask the question about Hunter Biden connections. It is pretty evident that Biden and his son were part of the China's Communist Party, business deals. I think American people should know that what are the facts, why he's not answering, how it is related to his as a vice president and his son business deals. I expect Christine to question that, and our American people should know the answer. Should hear from the Biden on this. Thank you,
Ma'am, Ms. Panos.
For certain, they should ask about this. This is not the typical attack that they do to families. They have put President Trump's children through the ringer, and what they do. Hunter Biden, how come he's not out there campaigning for his father in the last 2 months? In the last year, there is President Trump children are out there campaigning, not Hunter Biden. He has something to hide, in my opinion. They're hiding him. But the truth is coming tonight, in the next few days. And I hope the American people who have not voted realize that there's something wrong here. The China connection, the money connection, connect the dots and follow the money. And Hunter Biden should be questioned. His jobs, his dealings, not his personal life, not what he did, why he got thrown out of the army, and that his womanizing and stuff. That's his personality. This is something he affected his relationship, brought illegal money to his family, his father, and that should be brought under consideration tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be in today's debate. It will be a center point, and I think President Trump will bring it up, not the personal life, but the China dealings and all that will be brought up. And one interesting point I see is this left-dominated media. They are trying to put a censorship on these things that are coming out of Hunter Biden emails. How they are doing is like Twitter, especially, they are hiding in the name of fact check. And using fact check, they are blocking those posts that are coming out against Hunter Biden for the emails. So this is very clear, like they are very much partial and trying to put a censorship on anything that is coming against Hunter Biden email in the social media or his Chinese dealing and all that thing. So that's an interesting point. I think President Trump will bring it up today, and it will be good to see the response today.
Today, FBI has given an alert notice to citizens stating that Iran as well as Russia have the information about the voters, and then they are sending mails as if they are coming from the Proud Boys targeting Democratic voters. So how we should take this, and then what is the repercussions about this one? Anybody can take it?
I can talk about it, Krishnaji. Yeah. Regarding this Russia-Iran meddling, I don't think America is more secure. All our counties and our state government and federal government, they're already monitoring this. We have more secure than any other country. But there is always a social media. Somebody is creating a Twitter and Facebook accounts, spreading the rumors. So it can happen, but I don't think they can manipulate any of the electoral college or a voting pattern or something. But definitely in the social media and Twitter, they can create a fake accounts, create a tagging using the Facebook and social media to defame either of the candidates or American institutions. I can say that. Thank you.
Vishal.
Yeah, I think maybe right that they may try to create a fake campaign on Facebook by giving these ads, but I feel American citizens and voters are mature enough. They know a difference between a sponsored campaign and an actual campaign. So I think voters are smart enough. They will be able to differentiate between these fake campaigns coming in and versus what the actual candidates are doing. So I don't think it will have a big impact.
Ms. Panos,
I
your
believe
ideas.
I believe those emails regarding the Proud Boys are being directed to Democrats who,
Right.
and so the average person or unaffiliated Republican might see that for what it was. They paid attention to the FBI last night. However, that's a push to get the Democrats to get out and vote. And I wish people would know the Proud Boys. Who is sponsoring that? Is that like the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts? I want to see the true emails that come from Hunter Biden that have the connection. This is just some made up group that is targeting the Democrats to get them out to vote.
Obama is campaigning for Biden now because Biden has taken long leave, 5 days leave. He hasn't been seen anywhere. I think Fox guys were putting a camera there and then looking forward for him to come and answer, but no, nothing is happening. So instead, his surrogate Obama came. I think it's first time that a ex-president came for campaigning for somebody else. So Obama came anyway, and he started his campaign in Pennsylvania. I think he's going to Florida today. Okay, so is he going to help Biden or not going to help Biden? Is he proving that Biden is incapable? So I came here to rescue him. Is that what the statement that indirectly made?
Once again, I think they target the Democrats. I don't think Obama will have a positive impact on, for sure, Republicans and unaffiliated. I think the big drive, just like the vote by mail, is to get out the Democrats. So Obama, I hope it doesn't, but that's the strategy there, is to not to, let's all, say President Obama, no, get out the Democrats, whether it's in Florida where those Proud Boy emails are, they're trying to awaken the Democrats. I just hope they're poking the bear of the Republicans by doing that.
Even within Democrats, it's a particular section of Democrats that he's trying to ignite and trying to tell them come out to vote. That's the whole idea. And personally, I don't think it will make a big difference here. People know what to vote on, the policies and everything. So I don't think it's going to make a big difference with ex-President Obama coming into picture. I don't think it will be a big.
I think, as Trump has done, he is very unconventional. The other day, he was giving a speech on Pennsylvania, Erie County, where a lot of people, steel and coal workers, they lost their jobs because of clean energy and huge China deals. Now, I think he showed the video of why Harris and Kamala Harris and Biden, they're opposing the fracking. As a result, a lot of people going to lose a job, and to counter those arguments. And I think as Pennsylvania and Florida is becoming key. Whoever win the Pennsylvania, they are going to win the White House. So Obama is trying to see if he can energize the Democratic base and tell them that vote for Biden. But it's 40 million Americans already voted. I don't know whether Obama can make any difference because people are they forgot Obama. If Obama comes in, they will think that it's a repeat of 2008 to 2012. I think it is not going to help Biden much. That's what my conclusion. Except maybe it may energize some of the Democratic base. Maybe to some extent to African Americans. Thank you.
Do you believe that there is an election fraud in the elections this year? The reason I'm asking is one of the Senate contender for Massachusetts, one Mr. Shiva, who is a rebel Republican candidate. He was made to lose in the primary. That's what he claims. And then he put a 1.3 billion defamation charge or whatever is the charge on government of Massachusetts because of the election fraud that is involved in. He's trying to prove everybody that there is an election fraud. And then, interestingly, one of our employee who is on a H1 visa, he got with his name a ballot in New Jersey, and he got scared. And then I want to show and bring see and show the people to the people here. He got scared, and then he tore the ballot off, and then threw somewhere. He got literally scared. Is it if something to somebody is framing him or something like that? So, do you guys believe there is an election fraud? Starting with Om.
I think, Krishnaji, as you know, election fraud, there is debate, it's ideological. I think, instead of technology, we are in technology age, but a lot of people are, thinking about ideology. I think, in just you look at in India or anywhere democracy, I think people should take the ID and vote. But in America, if you look at the California, people who don't have who are not citizens, they have the they're issued the driving license. They're being issued all kind of ID cards. They can take the ID card and vote, which is illegal. How can a non-citizen can vote? This is the kind of things, left is taking the America, and it's not good for America. We need to see, if you want someone to come and vote, they have to show the ID, either driving license, a real ID driving license, or something. But coming back to this debate whether we have the fraud or not, I don't know. This is a little bit challenge for the democratic mail-in ballot. How they are going to compare the signatures, how compared to the who signed it and everything. This is shocking news to me. This is the first time I'm hearing that now the H1 candidate received the ballot. It was shock. Not only that, the voting can be manipulated by someone can influence the vote. I'm a little bit uncomfortable people voting for the ballot, mail-in ballot instead of that people go and vote. But given the COVID, it's a challenge. But my gut feeling is with this whole mail-in ballot, we don't know who is receiving it, how to verify these votes. There is a scope that it can be a fraud. Not only that, my gut feeling is this election, the counting will go to the Supreme Court. Ultimately, Supreme Court will decide which are valid votes, which are not valid votes. I don't know whether we can, we can conclude who will win who is going to win the election this year. Given the whole, election mail-in ballots, some of them are voting in-person voting. Some of them are, you see that, right? You're talking about someone received the ballot, even though he's not entitled for it. But we don't know it. But there is a common feeling that there is a fraud, and it can happen. Thank you.
I can't say about fraud, but what I can say about is error. Yes, there is a lot of chance of having errors in mail-in voting. We know that a lot of people may forget to sign the ballot outside. You have the naked ballots in Pennsylvania. They may forget to put it inside the envelope before putting in the main thing. So those kind of things definitely will happen. And that is the biggest worry here, because you know that when you go for in-person voting, yes, you have voting machine, you know what to do. People are doing it for years. There is no chance of error. But here, people who have never done the mail-in voting, if they do it, there is a chance of error. And that's what President Trump is also pointing out. We don't know about fraud, but this other thing will happen, and it may make a lot of difference. That's the point here. This error can prove very costly to someone. That's the point here.
I believe, yes, there is large margin of error, especially the state is using, I believe, the SVR system. It's a new system. I have somebody called me today. I tell everybody to take a picture of the ballot that comes to your house that's not legal. Somebody today said they got 6 ballots in their house and there's only 3 people. They each got 2. So I say, look at the initial, like my name is John Patel. You might get one for John Patel, but you might get one for John V. Patel. And they have different numbers. But So that's 2 votes for one person. And that's because the system is not up to date. Then there's the system. My own cousin got a ballot in her maiden name. Her sister, also from North Brunswick, has not lived in this state in 25 years, is married and lives in New York. So there's a large margin of error here. And then there's the inept human mistakes that people make. In Sayreville last year, the mayoral race was lost by 6 votes because the provisional wasn't locked properly at the voting booth. So you might think, yes, it will have, to affect Trump in this blue state. I don't know, but town by town, where the Democrats try to build their power, it can most certainly make a difference, whether it's corrupt, inept, or the system. I encourage anybody who gets a wrong ballot to take a picture and send it to me, to the Republican organization, because there are lawsuits that are going to happen. There's Board of Election people running that if you lose, they might lose by 1 or 2 votes. And that's the vote that was not counted. This is fraud or inept or corrupt. I'm not sure.
Now, Mr. Om, is it going to happen the same way like the last election? Is the result going to be declared by the end of the election day, election night, by the end of election night? Or is it going to take more time? Your opinion?
Yeah. Currently, looking at the real politics and all the sample polls, it is going to be very tight. 4.1. Biden is leading the battleground state by 4.1. Not only that, this year more states are joined as swing states like Arizona, Minnesota. I think 2 more. I think in Georgia they're counting. Democrats are counting in Georgia and Arizona. To their, it's going to be Texas. I don't think Texas is Texas and Georgia, but Arizona, I don't know. Maybe it's possible. But looking at the numbers, looking at the race is tightened the last 2 weeks, and today's debate will decide further. My gut feeling is if the after the debate, maybe we'll see the where the undecided voters are. Today's debate will decide where the undecided voter will go in. If the race is tightened, if the spread, Biden increase the spread in the swing states, it's possible he will win the majority vote, majority of the electoral college by winning the swing states. Then we can declare the results on the same day. Let's say that there is specific counties or specific votes are very narrow margin, either Biden or Trump. It is going to prolong. But my I think given the whole mail-in ballot and I think it is going to take at least 10 days for me, according to my understanding. As to last week, Supreme Court has approved the Pennsylvania's 3 days they can wait for after the voting. They can receive, still they can wait for the 3 more days to receive the ballots. So according to my understanding, all this Georgia, Pennsylvania, Florida, and it will take at least 1 week to 10 days to declare the results.
Okay, Vishal.
Yeah, so I think I kind of agree on that. We know that this counting rules vary by state. Some state will not start counting the mail-in ballots until they have counted the provisional votes. The reason for that is they don't want someone to vote twice, right? Somebody has mailed in the vote and somebody is going for provisional also. So they won't start the mailing until they have the provisional. So to tally that thing, they will only start mailing after they have counted the provisional. So if that's the case, some of the states, at least 2 weeks they will take from, I will not say 10 days, I'd say at least 2 weeks they will take to declare the result. But will that make a difference? No, because we know the red state, we know the blue states, only the fight is going to come to 4 or 5 states. We want to know what is happening there. So even there, your mail-in vote has to be postmarked by 3rd November. So that means it can reach there on 5th, 6th, 7th. The maximum date there is November 10th. So let's assume the vote reaches there by 10th, which is the last day. And if they take 3-4 days to count. So we can say that even for the swing state, it will take at least 10 to 12 days to count those votes. Now, yes, we will get some trends on November 3rd night, but I think exact result we will get by 14th or 15th, with a caveat that there is no lawsuit, because we all know that what is going to happen. What happened in 2000 with Al Gore and Bush, when Florida Palm Beach County, what happened, and it went to Supreme Court. If it goes there, we don't know. We can't predict how long it will take. But if that doesn't happen and we purely count on that, okay, bail-in voting is okay, no lawsuit, nothing, I think by 14, 15, we'll have the clear result.
Okay, in 2016 election, Trump told that he went to the inner cities and told the black people, okay, what the hell you are going to lose? That's what is the statement made. A lot of black people vote for Republicans and Trump. And is Trump increasing his influence over black voters now? And then yesterday, 50 Cent had made a comment. I do not want to become 20 Cent. So I want to vote for Trump. He is endorsing Trump. Tell us about this new polarization among black voters. Is it real or is it being projected like that? Go with Vishal.
I hope it is real. I hope it is real, and our African American community thinks about who has done a lot for them. You see the lowest unemployment before COVID, lowest unemployment rate for the African American people in America. That was a record. I hope somebody pays attention to that, and I hope really they think about it rather than just going what happened in George Floyd case. And
they have highest home ownership also.
Yeah. So rather than just looking blindly into what happened in George Floyd case, where law took its own course and guilties are punished, right? Rather than just looking at those particular cases, why don't you look at the whole picture? How are you getting the jobs? How is the economy doing? Are we lifting our own community? If they look at those things, definitely they will see there is a reason to vote for President Trump. And I hope that kind of polarization happen. But will it happen or not? I don't know.
I don't follow all the polls because I don't want to. The trend among black voters in Middlesex County, I for sure see that. I got a call yesterday from some black woman in Piscataway and said, I am voting for Trump. I've gotten a number of calls. I did not get that last election. So the black community is realizing that they get the jobs, that their situation is better. If not so much that they realize that those towns, Camdens and Newarks, they have been Democrat controlled for years. And they're tired of it. They're tired of the pandering and no action. And so I think the trend is, yes, Trump will get more minority support and Latinos also than he did last time.
Okay, I'm revisiting again the question, why Biden is taking 5 days for preparing for this debate. And he has 47 years of experience in the politics. Any question you should be able to answer without even preparing for the debate. While Trump is extempore, he wouldn't like to sit down and then prepare, and then he wants to speak whatever it comes to his heart and mind, and then his heart speaks, and that's how Trump is regarded in many circles. Tell about this. Is there any strategy behind Biden being there, locked himself at home, preparing for this debate, Ms. Panos?
I really can't. I don't know their strategy. I think they're hiding him. I think they say keep quiet, and or he's practicing. He's memorizing all the notes, so he's not reading them. They're making him memorize questions because his majority of answers are either on paper or the teleprompter. So I think he's doing some late night studying.
On a lighter note, I will say that maybe he realized that there is no point in holding the rallies because not many people are coming in there. So why do have these events? Because people are not showing up. Better prepare for the debate on a lighter note.
Is it because Trump jovially calls him like you are not smart and you are lost in your class, so a poor student has to prepare more days for an exam. Is that so? I'm just joking, making that.
No, I don't know if
No, the
I
Trump,
don't
Oh,
think that's right,
oh.
but I
you know,
do know.
yeah, Biden is old. He can't
Mhm.
remember everything. 47 years in political career.
Is Trump
So if he
young?
prepare more, he has to, he has to give a steady performance. This is a crucial. There is inner feeling that Trump is going to win in the Democratic circle. Even independent voters are thinking. A lot of people are thinking. Even who, yeah. So coming back to, I think he wants to prepare. He wants to give a steady performance to Biden. But the Trump is spontaneous. That is what the American people like about it. It doesn't matter. He doesn't want him to prepare. Give you what is in your mind. Let's speak. So I think Trump he doesn't want to because not only that he is a president, he is getting a lot of updates daily. Has been in the what is going on in the White House and the economy and healthcare. He knows everything. He doesn't need to prepare. Whereas Biden, he needs to prepare. He's older. I think overall he needs to give a steady performance. We know what to expect from Trump, but Biden, if he doesn't give them a steady performance, if he cannot be, if the Trump delivered the punch to Biden, that's the end of the Biden. I'm telling you, it is
Mhm.
crucial for Biden to deliver the best for the debate.
Ms. Thompson, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm talking to you right now.
My name is Krishna. I invited you. Yeah, what are you expecting from today's debate?
Uh, what am I expecting tonight? I
Yes.
expect the president to do a very good job tonight, President Trump. I believe that he will focus on what he has accomplished in his time in office and what he will be doing in the future. He may well touch a little bit on the Biden situation there, but that's primarily what I think he'll do. I think he'll be very different than he was on his first debate.
So do you think the debate will be impartial today, sir?
If he was, that will be the first moderator they've had that has been not anti-Trump in essence. I would not be too optimistic.
How do you see Obama campaigning for Biden in his absence? Is it going to make any difference? Obama's campaign, is it going to make any difference to Biden?
I don't think Obama coming out and speaking is going to make much difference. At this point, I believe Biden's got all the support he will get. So Obama coming out is not going to increase that.
Do you believe that there is an election fraud, Mr. Thompson? There will be an election fraud.
Do I believe that what?
Election fraud.
Well, when you say a surprise, I believe just about everything that is going to come forward, it has come forward. At the time we have left, I don't think there'll be any additional surprises coming out. Although even tonight, with regards to Hunter Biden and the interplay with the various countries out there, they do have somebody that was a partner with him has come forward on Fox tonight and is verifying everything that's been said.
Do you think that Hunter Biden's emails are going to make a difference, like Clinton's emails made difference to Trump's campaign in 2016?
Well, I think, the most incriminating thing about Joe Biden is, again, when he appeared on TV and he said, I called them and told them, you will not get $1 billion in foreign aid unless you fire the prosecutor who is pursuing Burisma, Hunter Biden's company that was getting paid $86,000 a month for doing essentially nothing he was qualified for. And so, again, Biden said on TV, I called him, I said, if you don't fire that prosecutor, then you will not get $1 billion. And that I'm leaving here in 6 hours. And if I don't hear from you, you lose the money. And son of a B, they fired the prosecutor. This was the prosecutor investigating Burisma and so on. The interplay involvement of him. And again, the guy that's come forward that was a partner with Hunter has indicated, again, Joe Biden was receiving a portion of the money, like 20% of the payoff that they were giving.
I want to ask all these Republican folks, and then in general, I'm asking everybody, The Democrats are so obsessed with not so right things. They want to help. They want to help the illegal immigrants first. They want to do the criminals with cashless bails. They want to do everything illegal. They don't want elections to be right in the sense for somebody to enter into Congress or assembly or someplace. They need to show ID, but they don't want any IDs to be shown. Well, people can go to the restaurants, people can go to the grocery stores. They feel that people cannot go to a voting booth and then they want mail-in ballots and then they're actually overwhelming the system and creating a havoc so that they want to reap benefit out of the havoc. Why their mindset is so bad? Is it just because to oppose Trump, whatever they say, Trump says they want to say no to it, or they are becoming like that? They are drifting towards left and far left, from progressive to left and then left to far left. Vishal, you can go with Vishal.
So I have a view on that. I think it's pure politics. So the strategy Democrats work on is, if they favor illegals, they give them amnesty or something, they come here, they become citizens for somehow like giving them amnesty. And if they become citizens, they will remember that it was the Democrats who fought for them, and they will always vote for Democrats. Their generations will vote for Democrats. I think that's the strategy Democrats are working on. They don't care about the nation. They don't care about security. They have open border.
What about the people now? What about the people who are now in America? They are worried about the illegal people and then be given citizenship and then they vote later. But what are they not doing about the people who are right now living and then paying taxes? They don't care?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Democrats are working on a long-term strategy. Let's get the illegals in. At some point of time, they will become citizens. They will have vote. And yeah, then they will remember who fought for me. It was Democrats. They will vote for them. They are working on this strategy, I think.
Okay.
And they don't care about the nation, the borders, and the security. They are making everything a sanctuary city, which is going to hurt common American citizen here.
Ms. Panos, your opinion. Why they are so obsessed with illegal things or not so legal things? I think I'm unable to listen. Maybe we will go with Om.
Yeah, coming back to, we have to understand America is a country of immigrants. Yeah, America is a country of immigrants. 1980s, Europeans or Irish, Italian people migrated. Now 1970s, Asians. In South America, we have some of the open borders that they are coming across the borders. I think America is the richest country in the world. We have to we have to help the poor. Definitely, we have a different programs. My understanding is Canadian Democratic Party, Canada's Democratic Party, they are more center right, but the centrist Democrats. But recently, Pelosi and Harry Reid, they try to be more electoral politics, how to win the election. This is the leftist liberals. They're trying to destroy the Democratic Party, trying to destroy the America. We should not encourage illegals. Yes, we want to invite we need blue collar workers. We need to help our hotel industry, our manufacturing, our healthcare industry. We need to give a work visas, work permit, agriculture visas, work visas. So this way, they come legally, they pay the taxes, and they are abided by the citizens. Yes, some people are crossing the border during the Clinton time, Bush time, and Reagan time. Yes, we granted the work visas. Eventually, we given a citizenship.
We are running out of time, Om. I think Ms. Panos, your opinion.
I am the Republican chair. I was a Democrat 22 years ago. The Democrat Party is not what it used to be. And they just like to keep them under control. So they get the free things and they get the votes. It's just a power thing for them. It's not good for America. I am second generation American, and my grandparents came and they worked hard. America is the pursuit of happiness, not given on a silver plate. So I think that they just want that base. They want to keep people poor. So this way they have to they don't bite the hand that feeds them.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, your opinion, sir.
I think the difference between the two parties is best reflected by a biblical phrase. That phrase is, you can give a man a fish and he can eat for a day. You can teach him how to fish and he can eat forever. We believe in teaching the people how to fish so they can eat forever. That's the Democrats want to keep everybody almost impoverished, give them minimum, et cetera, and so on to buy them over. But we would prefer to teach people how to work and so on, and so they can get better jobs and have better livings and so on. That's the basic difference between our two parties.
I request all of you to give your final remarks about what you are expecting in 10 seconds each, please. Ms. Panos.
I expect that everybody who did not vote to get out there, vote and vote for President Trump. I ask everybody to make sure everybody in their family gets out and votes for President Trump, whether it's in this state or in another state. You have to get out the vote, just like the Democrats are doing.
Okay, Mr. Thompson.
Okay, I would agree, of course, with my chair lady there that it is essential everyone come out and vote. It has been said not infrequently, this is the most important election of our lifetime. I think people like the America that we have. If you have a Biden America, it will change. I mean, again, the riots that we've been having out in the various states and et cetera, Biden is just fine with these. And I think we will have mob rule if he should take over. And in terms of the economy, look at the fantastic job that President Trump did. And there's no question we need to have that come on back next year. Thus, the work he's done related to COVID, I mean, they give a lot of criticism, but look at where we are today. The cures that we have developed, the treatments that we have developed. And by the first of the year, we will have a vaccine for it. We will be over it. But to recover, we got to get people back to work, and nobody does that better than Donald Trump.
Okay. Your 10 seconds, Vishal.
Yes, I echo what Senator Thompson said. I hope when people are voting, there are two things in their mind: economy and law and order. How can I bring law and order security to America, and how economy will boom? If they keep these two things in the mind and they vote, yes, President Trump will win. And I hope he will do better in today's debate.
10 seconds for you.
Thank you. So America was a leader from 20th century, and it is going to be leader in 21st century. So it's American people needs to decide what is the best for country. How the economy is doing good, how innovative we are, the free democracy, freedom of expression. We need a law and order, the best constitution in the world. American people needs to decide and vote for who can deliver the best, who can make the country great in 21st century also. We have seen 20th century.
Okay, thank you, Om. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Ms. Panos. Thank you, Vishal, and thank you, Om. We came to the end of this session, and at 10:30 we are meeting again to discuss what happened in the debate, post-debate session. Until then, goodbye. Thank you so much. And we are sending to all the people who are listening. We are sending a survey about how the debate happened. Please fill in the survey so that we can present it after the debate. Thank you so much.